Okay, hello everyone, welcome to PM Networking. Guys, today I am going to configure this topology, this network topology. I will show you complete configuration of this network topology in two parts. This is part 1. Today we will configure OSPF, EIGRP, like summarization, multi-area OSPF, LSA filtering, and so many things, right? And in part 2 I will show you virtual link configuration and BFT configuration for OSPF. Okay, so first of all let me show you what I am going to configure here, guys. Okay, so here as you can see in this topology I have mentioned IP address. So first of all let me show you how I have configured IP address on the interfaces of router. So see, between router 1 and router 2 I am running 192.1.12.0/24 network. So 12 is from router 1 and 2. Between router 1 and 2 I am running which network? 12 network. So here on router 1 interface I will configure 12.1 and on router 2 interface I will configure 12.2. In the same way, suppose between router 2 and router 4, here you can see I am running 192.1.24. Between 2 and 4 I am running 24.0/24 network. So on router 2 interface I will configure 24.2 by router number, and on router 4 interface, so this one is E1/0, right, of router 4 I will configure 24.4. okay, so network ID you can see on the topology on your screen, right? And by using router number I will assign IP address on the interfaces of router. After that I have configured some loopback on this router. So let me see, guys, these are loopback, right? So as you can see on router 1 I am running two loopback 0 and loopback 1. Loopback 0 is 1.1.1.1, subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. loopback 1 is 11.11.11.11, subnet mask is this one. On router 2 I am running this loopback, router 3, router 4, router 5, router 7, right? Here on router 7 you can see I am running 4 loopback, right? So where is router 7? Here is router 7, here, this one. On this router I am running 4 loopback, and on router number 11 also I am running 4 loopback. So I have already configured IP address on these router. First of all let me show you guys. On R1 here you can see on Ethernet 1/0 IP address is this one, 12.1. on Ethernet 1/1 Ethernet E, this one, loopback 0, loopback 1. In the same way, if you will verify IP address on router 2 you can verify as well. So IP interface brief exclude unassigned, right? So I have configured IP address, but I am not running any routing protocol. So IP protocol, here you can see IP routing is NSF up here, right? That means I am not running any routing protocol now. Okay, so till now hope IP addressing is clear to you guys. Now I am going to show you what task I am going to perform in this topology, in this lab. Fine, so these are IP configuration. So see here, task number 1 to task number 16 I am going to perform these tasks, task 1 to task 16. So task number 1 is what? Configure OSPF in area 0 between router 1, 2 and router 3. Beside the physical link, enable the loopback 0 interface of all 3 routers in area 0. Okay, so loopback 0 on all router will be advertised in OSPF area 0. And here you can see one keyboard, that is loopback should be advertised with the interface mask. So I have configured loopback interface with subnet mask 255.0.0.0. So you you have to advertise with this subnet mask only. If you will configure OSPF on loopback interface, OSPF will advertise loopback interface with /32. So here we need to configure, we need to advertise loopback interface with the interface mask. So we will configure that. After that, hard code the router ID based on the following. So on router 1, I will configure this router ID manually. On router 2 and router 3, these are router ID of router 1, 2, 3. Okay. In task 2, we will configure what? Configure OSPF in area 10 between router 2, 4, 10 and 11. So between router 2, 4, 10, 11, we will configure what? OSPF area 10. Beside the physical links, enable the loopback 1 interface on router 2, right? And all the loopbacks of the other 3 router in area 10. Okay, so on router 2, loopback 1 will be advertised in what? In area 10, because loopback 0 is already advertised in area 0. Here you can see. So here on router 2, I will advertise loopback 1 in area 10, and all other router, means on router 4, router 10 and router 11, we will advertise loopback 0, right, in area 10. Okay, then after that, configure OSPF area 20 on this router. Okay, after configure manual redistribution between the appropriate routers to allow end-to-end connectivity between all routing domain. Use seed matrix of your choice. Okay, so we will use seed matrix as well. After that, in task number 7, configure route summarization. So we will perform route summarization as well. Configure route summarization on the appropriate ASBR to summarize all the routes from 107.0.0.0/8 major network towards OSPF. So we will do that as well. Okay, so NSSA area configuration, totally NSSA stub area, totally stub area. So we will configure each and everything about OSPF, right, today. So okay guys, let's begin from task number 1. So task number 1 is configure area 0 OSPF on router 1, router 2 and router 3. So let me configure OSPF on router 1 first. Config T. After that, router OSPF process ID is suppose 1, and then router ID is 0.0.0.1. After that, network. So network is 1.0.0.0. Wildcard mask will be 255.255.255.255, and area will be what? 0. Fine. After that, network 192.1.12.0. Wildcard mask will be 0.0.255 and area 0. This is link between router 1 and router 2, right? Then network 192.1.13.0. wildcard mask will be this one, and area is again 0. Okay, after that, interface loopback. Okay, not here. In global configure mode, interface loopback 0. After that, IP OSPF network type. Here we need to change network type. So network is point to point. Let me configure point to point over here. Okay, now OSPF will advertise this loopback interface with /20/8, right, with subnet mask 255.0.0.0. So now OSPF configuration on R1 is done, because I am not running OSPF between router 1 and router 7 and router 1 and router 8. Okay, so let me save this configuration, guys. Let me write here. Fine. Now go to router number 2. Here on router 2, let me run command router OSPF. Process ID is what? 1, and router ID will be 0.0.0.2. After that network, so network will be 2.0.0.0. wildcard mask will be 0.255.255.255. and area will be 0. So see, I am advertising loopback with /8, right? Then network what? 192.1.12.0. subnet mask, wildcard mask will be this one, and area is 0. Fine. Exit. Interface loopback 0, and IP OSPF network type is point to point. Okay, let me save the configuration of router 2 as well. Now go to router number 3. Enable config T. I have already configured IP. You can check on any router. So I do so IP interface brief and exclude and assign. Here you can see. Okay. Now router OSPF process ID is what? 1, and network. First of all, let me set router ID. So router ID on router 3 will be this one. After that network 3.0.0.0 0.255.255.255 area 0, and then network 192.1.13.0. wildcard mask will be this one, and area will be 0 here. Fine. Then interface loopback 0, IP OSPF network type point to point. Fine. Let me save. Right. So guys, this is part 1. Part 1 is completed. Okay. So now move to task number 2. Configure OSPF in area 10 between router 2, 4, 10 and 11. And here what you need to keep in mind, that enable the loopback 1 interface on router 2. Okay, so go to the topology now, and again let me start configuration from router number 2. So on router 2, config T, router OSPF process ID is what? 1, and network is, router ID is already configured here, so we don't need to configure router ID again. Network will be 192.1.24.0. wildcard mask is 0.0.255, and area is 0. Area is 0, and you need to advertise what? Loopback 1. Loopback 1 in area 10. Okay, this one is not area 0. This one is area 10. Let me remove this command and let me run again area 10. Fine. And you need to enable loopback interface as well. So on loopback 1, what IP address I am running? Do so IP interface brief exclude unassign. So here you can see on loopback 1 I am running what? 20.20.20.20. So network is 22.0.0.0. so network 22.0.0.0. wildcard mask is this one, and area is 10. Fine. After that, interface loopback 1, IP OSPF network type is point to point. Right. Now save this configuration and move to router number 3. here you can see task number 2, router ID is already configured. Okay, fine. Go to router number 3, config T, router, set router OSPF process ID is 1, and no need to configure anything on router 3, I think, right? Yes. So router 3 is already configured. We need to configure router number 4. Let me minimize it, and go to router number 4 here. Enable config T. After that, router OSPF process ID is 1. Router ID will be 0.0.0.4 and network is 4.0.0.0. Wildcard mask will be this one and area is 10. Am I right? Again, network 192.1.24.0 between router 2 and router 4. I am running this network. Wildcard will be 0.0.255 and area is 10. Right? Then network 192.1. Which network? 40 network, right? 40.0. Here you can see, guys, 40 network 40.0. Wildcard mask will be 0.0.255 and area is again 10. Okay, then interface loopback 0, IP OSPF network type will be point to point. Right. So now let me configure router number 5, router number 4, after that router number 10, I think, right? Router 4, router 10 and 11. So let me configure router 10. Where is router number 10? Here it is. And this one is router number 10. Okay. Enable config T, router OSPF process ID is 1 and router ID will be what? 0.0.0.10. Then network is 10. First of all, let me advertise loopback 0.255.255.255 and area is 10. Then network 192.1.40.0.0.255 and area 10. After that network 192.1.110.0.0.255 area 0. Area 10. So let me write no here and let me run again, area 10. Fine. So after that, exit interface loopback 0 and IP OSPF network type point to point. Let me write the configuration. After that, router number 11. So this one is router number 11. Enable config T, router OSPF process ID is 1 and router ID is 0.0.0.11. After that, network. So network will be first one is loopback interface. So 111. Here you can verify loopback, guys. Let me check. So IP interface brief exclude unassign. Loopback 0 is this one, right? So here network 111.111. I think I am running, yes, with /24. So 11.1 11 dot suppose 0.0 and wildcard mask is 255.255 and area is 10. Okay, after that network 192.1.110.0 0.0.255 and area 10, right? Okay, so I have advertised all loopback interface, you can see over here, right? Because do so IP, you can see all loopback come under this network, right? So now what we need to do, interface loopback 0, interface loopback 0, IP OSPF network point to point exit, interface loopback 1, IP OSPF network point to point, then interface loopback 2, IP OSPF network type point to point, and interface loopback 4, not 4 is not available, I think loopback 3, IP OSPF network type is point to point. Let me write the configuration, right? So task 2 is completed. Now let me move on task number 3. So here task 3 is configure OSPF in area 20 between router 3, 5 and 6. 3, 5 and 6. What we need to configure? Area 20. Beside the physical interface, enable the loopback 0 interfaces on router 3, okay, and router 6, loopback 0 interface on router 3 and router 6, and all the loopbacks on router 5 in area 20. Okay, loopback should be advertised. Okay, router ID of router 5 is this one, okay, fine. Now go to router number 5. Go to, let me, okay, 3, 5 and 6. So first of all go to router number 3, here exit, and a router OSPF 1 network will be what? 192.1.35.0, wildcard mask will be 0.255 and area is 20, right? Don't need to configure anything else on router 3. Let's save the configuration. Go to router number 5, enable config a router OSPF, process ID is 1, and here router ID is 0.0.0.5 and network is 5.0.0.0, wildcard mask is this one, and area is now 20. Here network, okay, so now topology is visible. Network 192.1.35.0 0.0.255 and area is 20. After that network 56, right? So here let me change it 56.0. After that interface loopback 0, IP OSPF network type is point to point, right? Let me save the configuration, and now let me configure router number 6. So this one is router 6, guys. Enable config T router OSPF, process ID is 1 and router ID will be 0.0.6, and then network is 6.0.0.0. wildcard mask is this one, and area is 20. After that, network 192.1.56.0.0.255 and area is 20. Exit interface loopback 0. IP OSPF network type is point to point. Okay, now let me move on next task number 4. Task number 4, configure EIGRP. Configure EIGRP is AS111 between router 17 and router number 8. Enable all loopbacks on router 7 and 8 in EIGRP 111. Enable loopback 1 on router 1 in EIGRP 11111. So let's begin, guys, from router number 1. So first of all, on router 1 I will configure EIGRP. Okay, so here enable config T router EIGRP 111, right, and network will be 192.1.17.0 and one more network, that is 18.1.8.0 and one more network, that is 11.0.0.0, which is loopback 1. Okay, do right. Now let me configure router number 7. So here, where is router number 7? This one. Enable config T router EIGRP 111 and network is 192.1.17.0, right, network 7.0.0.0, which is loopback. After that, network 107.0.0.0, this is also loopback. Do so IP interface brief exclude unassign. So yes, loopback 0 is this one, loopback 1 is this one. So I have advertised this network, that means all loopback interface, loopback 1, 2, 3, 4 will come under this network. Under which network? Under this network, right? So I have enabled EIGRP on all the loopback interface of router 7. Do right. Let me save the configuration and let me configure router 8 now. So here is router number 8. Enable config T. After that, router EIGRP 111 and network will be what? Network will be 192.1.18.0. After that, loopback network 8.0.0.0. Then network 88.0.0.0. let me check. Do so IP interface brief exclude unassign. So yes, I think yes, all loopback EIGRP has been configured on all loopback interfaces. Now let me save it. Save. And here let me verify EIGRP neighborship. Is EIGRP working fine or not? So command will be what? So IP EIGRP neighbor. Okay, so neighbor is fine. Let me ping the loopback which is running on router number 7, that is suppose 7.7.7.7. So yes, I am getting a reply. Source will be suppose 8.8.8.8. So yes, both loopback can ping to each other, right? Now let me move on to task number 5 na? Yes, task number 5. So task number 5 is configure EIGRP is AS222 between router 6 and 9, enable all loopback interface on router 9 in EIGRP, enable loopback 1 on router 6 in EIGRP. Okay, so guys, again come to here and let's begin from router number 6. So yes, here is router number 6, config T, router EIGRP 222, after that network. So network will be 192.1.69.0, and there is one more network, that is what, 66.0.0.0, 66 loopback interface on router number 6 loopback 1. Do so IP interface brief exclude unassign. Here you can see this loopback interface. This loopback interface is advertised in OSPF, right? And this loopback interface is advertised in EIGRP. Okay, let me save the configuration, do write, and let me configure router number 9. So where is router 9? Router 9, here it is. Enable config T, router EIGRP 222 and network 192.1.69.0. After that network and 99.0.0.0. I think so. Let me check. Do so IP interface brief exclude unassign. So yes, 99. Okay, and here is one more loopback, so let me advertise 9.9 as well, 9.0.0.0. okay, do right. Okay, let me move on next task. Task number 6. So task number 6 is what? Configure manual redistribution between the appropriate router to allow end-to-end connectivity between all routing domain. Use seed metric of your choice. So guys, here in the topology, where is my topology? Yes, here you can see router 1. Here we need to perform what? Redistribution, because router 1 is connected with EIGRP as well as OSPF. So on router 1 and on router number 6, here on these two router I need to configure what? Redistribution, so that OSPF and EIGRP can exchange their routing information. So let's begin from router 1, go to router number 1, and here router OSPF process ID is 1, redistribute EIGRP 111, and we need to use this keyword subnet. After that, router EIGRP 111 and redistribute OSPF process ID is 1, and metric you can use component 10, suppose 10 10 10 and 10. Okay, fine. Now do right. Now go to router number 6. Here also we need to perform redistribution on router number 6 as well. So again, router OSPF 1 and redistribute EIGRP 222 and subnet. Exit router EIGRP 222, redistribute OSPF 1 and metric Metric is here again 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. These are, as you know, EIGRP need bandwidth, delay, MTU, these information to calculate matrix. So you have to define a metric component. Let me write. Now let me move to next task. Task number 7. Here configure route summarization on the appropriate ABR to summarize all the router 11 loopback. So here in topology, as you can see, on router number 11, right, we are running some loopback, and we need to configure route summarization. So I will configure route summarization on router 2, right, on router 2, because router 2 is my ABR. And here you can see in task, configure route summarization on appropriate ABR to summarize all the router 11 loopback. Fine. So go to router number 2, and here I will configure route summarization. So enable config T, after that router OSPF process ID is 1, and then area 10, range. Okay, first of all let me show you the loopback IP address on router 11. Here is router 11. So IP interface brief, exclude unassign. Okay, so I am running these loopback. Okay, so range 111.111.100.0 255.255.252.0. This is manual summarization of this prefix. If you don't know how, then you can watch my summarization video, right? This one is summary address of these 4 network. Okay, fine. Let me hit enter over here. Okay, now, okay, first of all let me run no here. Okay, and if you will verify the routing table of router 7, so let me show you the routing table of router 7 here. So IP route, here guys you can see I want to summarize these network, right? So now you can see the size of routing table is large. After running this command on router 2 will summarize this prefix, right? Now if you will check routing table of router 7, so IP route, now here you can see there is only one summary route. Okay, so okay, this task is done. Let me move to next task. Let me let me save the configuration, and now move to next task. Next task is task number 8. Configure route summarization on the appropriate ASBR to summarize all the routes from 107.0.0.0/8 major network, right, towards OSPF. Use the longest mask for route summarization. Okay, so here in topology guys, as you can see, this one is my router 1, and 107 is the loopback which is running on where? On router number 7, and router 1 is what? ASBR, area border router, because router 1 is connecting to different domain, EIGRP and OSPF. So this one is my what? Router 1 is my ASBR, like router number 6. Router number 6 is also ESBR. So here on router 1 I am going to configure summarization, right? Because to perform this task, to summarize this prefix 107 prefix. Okay, so let me go to router number 1, and here router OSPF process ID is 1, and the summary address will be what? 107 dot. Okay, so on router 7, first of all let me check loopback IP address. So IP interface brief exclude unassign. So 107.7.72.73.74. Okay, so 107.7.72.0 and 252.255.255.252.0 will be your summary address, right? So this task is also done. Let me save the configuration, do write, and now if you will verify on router number 3 or router number 5, you will get summary route. So let me verify you as well. Router number 3, if you will run so IP route, here you can see there is one summary route for this prefix, right? Okay, now let me move to next task. Next task is task number 9. Configure LSA filtering such that network 4.0.0.0/8 is not allowed to leave area 10. Very good. Okay, so 4.4.4.4 is running on which router, guys? On router number 4. Okay, so let me check again. Task configure LSA filtering. Okay, so here on router number 2, router 4 is connected to router number 2, right? So on router number 2 we need to run some command, exit, and on router number 2 let me create one prefix list. So task is configure LSA filtering such that network 4.0.0.0/8 is not allowed to leave area 10. Okay, so now IP prefix list is, suppose name is filter, after that deny 4.0.0.0/8, right? IP prefix list filter and permit 0.0.0.0 to all /0 LE32, right? And router OSPF process ID 1 area what 10 filter list prefix name is what filter and direction out. Fine, so do right. Okay, now let me move to next task. Task number 9 is also completed. Task number 10. Task number 10 is what? Configure the most secure authentication on all routers in OSPF area 0. Use a key of 1 and a key string CCIE 123. Okay, so here is my topology. I will start from router number 1, because router number 1 is also in area 0. So go to router number 1, guys, and here exit. Here interface E1/0 IP OSPF authentication message digest. Fine. After that, IP OSPF message digit key 1 MD5 and CCIE 123, right? CCIE 123 or CCIE 1234? Yes, CCIE 123. Okay. After that, to which interface? Interface E1/1 IP OSPF authentication message digest and IP OSPF message key is 1 MD5 and CCIE 123. Done. Now go to router number 2. So this is the only configuration. You need to run these two commands on all interface which is member of OSPF area 0. So on router 2, E1/0 is member of area 0. So just wait, guys. हाँ बलजीत, नहीं बस वो ले लेना मेरा, ठीक है, चलो बस. Okay. On router 2, which interface is member of area 0? E1/0. So here we need to run IP OSPF authentication message IP OSPF message digest key 1 MD5 and CCIE 123. Guys, CLI is very slow in EVE, right? That's why I don't like EVE. So next time after this lab, or maybe after few lab, I will show you configuration on real devices, right? That will be more practical for you also, for me also, right? And this one is EVE is very slow, but why, I don't know why most of the people are requesting to make topology, large topology in EVE, right? I haven't used EVE before today, right? I am using first time, but I don't like CLI access of it, right? It's very boring, it's very slow. Okay, now go to router number 3, because router 3 is also part of area 0. So config T interface E1/0 IP OSPF authentication message digest, set message digest IP OSPF message key 1 MD5 CCIE 123. Okay, exit and write. Right, no other interfaces, no other router interfaces belongs to OSPF area 0. So this task is completed. Now let me check next task. So next task is what? Configure text authentication on all router in area 10. Use a key string Cisco. Okay, in which area? In area 10. Key string is Cisco. Fine. So in area 10, router number 2, router number 4, router number 10 and router number 11 are the member of area 10. So let me start from router 2. So here, guys, exit interface E1/1 IP OSPF authentication and IP OSPF authentication key. Key is what? Cisco. Okay, now go to router number 5, do right. Router number 5, here also, here on both interface, right? On router number, not router number 5 is member of router number 10. It's router number 4 also. So I have configured now on router 2, yes. So now we need to configure on router number 4. So here is router 4. Enable config T interface. Can I use range command interface? Range E 1/0 to 1/1. To 1. Okay, IP OSPF authentication and IP OSPF authentication key is what? Cisco. Okay, let me write. Go to router number 10 now. Config T interface range E 1/0 to 1. After that IP OSPF authentication and IP OSPF authentication key is what? Cisco, right? And now I need to configure on router number 11. So where is router 11? Here it is. Enable config T interface E 1/0 IP OSPF authentication, IP OSPF authentication key Cisco. Fine, right. Okay, now let me move on next task. So next task is what? Next task is configure area 10. Configure area 10 such that it does not receive any external route. It should maintain connectivity to external route, right? So here you can see configure area 10 so that it will not install external route, but connectivity should be there. So there should be a default route, right? There should be a default route. Okay, so here we will configure what? Stub area, and recommendation is here also, you can see in bracket. It is saying to configure stub area to area 10. So I am going to configure area 10 to stub area. So router 2, let me start from router 2 because router 2 is member of area 2, and here command, what only we need to run only one command, that is router OSPF 1, and after that area 10 is your stub. That's it, right? And we need to run these two commands on router 4, router 10, router 11. So do so history. Let me copy these two commands and let me run these two commands on all router in area 10. So router 4, oh, config T, router OSPF 1, and let me paste. Oh, area 10 is a stub. After that, go to router number 10. router number 10 of config T, router OSPF process ID is 1, and area 10 is stub. That's it. Go to router number 11, and here also tell to router 11 that area 10 is stub area. Router OSPF process ID 1 and area 10 is stub. Fine, right? Now guys, I have configured stub. Area 10 is stub on all router. The ABR will block the external routes from EIGRP 111 and EIGRP 222, because as you know, in stub area external routes are not allowed from reaching area 10. Okay, so router 2 will inject a default route, because router 2 is what? Router 2 is my ABR, and ABR will inject a default route. So this is a stub area. Verify it on any router, on router 4, router 10 and router 11. You can verify on any router. Let me show you on router number 10. There should be a default route for external route. Here you can see show IP route. So IP route, and as you can see over here, there is one default route, right, towards 40.4, and I am on router 10, means towards 40.10 is router number 4, and on router number 4 there is a default route towards router number 2. So now ABR is generating what? Default route in stub area. Okay, so this task is also completed. Now let me move to which task? This task is completed, task number 13. So the task number 13 is, this step is a continuous of task 1. Area 10 should also block inter-area routes, right? So area 10 should also block inter-area routes, maintaining reachability to them. So here we need to configure what? Totally stub area. So in stub area only external prefixes will be blocked, only LSA 5 will block, but here we need to block what? Block internal area routes. So LSA 3 as well, right? So go to router number, go to which router? Router number 2. Where is router 2? Here it is. And here we will configure what, guys? Here on router 2 I will configure what? Area 10 is stub, and here we need to add one more command, that is no summary. This command enable what? Totally stub area. This command will enable totally stub area. So on router number 10, if you will verify now, this was the routing table before running area 10 stub no summary command on router 2. And now if you will check routing table, so here you can see routing table size is now very small, because there is no inter area prefix, these prefix, right? Here you can see. Okay, so this task is also completed. Now let me move to next task very quickly. Task number 14, configure area 20 such that it does not receive any external routes from the backbone. Okay, so after that, the external routes from EIGRP 200 should continue to be received in area 20 and propagated into the backbone area. Okay, so here we need to configure what? An SSA area. So again go to your topology, and here we need to configure what? An SSA okay, an SSA area. So put to your topology, and here on router number 3, right, this on this router number 3, let me run command config t. After that, router OSPF 1, router OSPF process ID 1, and area 20 is what? Area 20 is stub. And here, wait guys, let me read the question again. An SSA area, okay, area 20 is not stub, an SSA. Okay, area 20 is an SSA on router 3. On router number 5, so go to router number 5. Here also we need to run same command config t, router OSPF 1, area 20 is an SSA, and on router number 6 also if you don't know these things, you need to watch my OSPF playlist, guys, where I have discussed what is the use of NSS area, what is the use of stub area, right? So if you haven't watched that video, now definitely these things will difficult for you to understand. And if you are getting, then no problem, guys, then you definitely don't need to watch, right? So on router number 6 also I will run router OSPF 1 and area 20 is an SSA. Okay, so this task is also completed, right? This task is also completed. In area 20 there will be no any external routes, right? You can verify that as well. After that, task number 15, here we need to configure what? An SSA, totally an SSA stub area, an SSA stub area. So on router number 3 you will run the command what? Router OSPF 1 area 20 stub default information originate, then only router will generate what? A default route, a default route. So go to router number 3. Where is router 3? Here it is. On router 3 I will run what? Router OSPF 1, after that area 20 stub and default area 20 stub, and area 20 router OSPF 1 area 20 stub, after that default information originate. Okay, so I think why this router is not just wait guys, let me check. Okay, default host. Okay, so here it is, default information originate. Okay, so it was my mistake, here I was writing a stub. Okay, now move to task, next task, configure area 20 such that inter area. Okay, so here we need to configure totally an SSA area. Okay, so area 20 on router number 3 I will configure area 20 NSS A and no summary. This command will enable what? Totally NSS A area. Fine. And let me save it. So this one is your last task for today. In next part I will show you virtual link configuration, right? I think video length is very long now, right? So I am not going to make any more configuration in this video, right? Otherwise it will be very difficult for you guys to watch. Okay, so in next part I will show you how to configure virtual link here. I will remove this part, right? And how to configure BFD for OSPF, these things. Okay guys, so that's all for today. If you like this video, please hit on like button. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe this channel guys. We will meet soon in next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.